get to the end to show your signature. And then I'll go backwards and you can review it at your, scroll. Okay. Is that your signature, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And it was signed April 15 of this year, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I can go through this slower, but is this a true and correct copy of your DERFA? And I'm happy to go back and forth, etc.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we're going to admit this as Exhibit 5.
Any objections?
Okay. So on this DERFA, you claim 11,504 per month as your monthly income, gross, correct? On line
Yes.
3A. All right.
That's correct.
Okay. And then scrolling down, or scrolling up, where'd it go? Under 4A, you say bonuses, you put nothing in, and you're saying unknown and not anticipated, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you've not received any notice from your employer that there will be no notices this year, correct?
Normally, they don't provide anything like that.
Okay. So you have no advance notice that you're not going to get a bonus?
No.
Bonus, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Judge. And then going back through this, it shows on your, this 11,504 matches up with your proposed child support worksheets. The exhibit numbers are unspecified, at least on what I have, showing 11,504 gross income. We can go back to that too right now. So I move to admit the DERFA you're on as Exhibit 5 if I hadn't done that before. And we're going to go back here. It's unspecified. These are the top two. Can you see this child support worksheet, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And is this the worksheet, and I can scroll through it, that you prepared in conjunction with Ms. Rubel's office? Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And it shows a gross income from you of 11,504, correct?
Can you please scroll down to the end to show whether it is the latest or the old one?
Sure. Fourth, I believe, would this help you at here? Can you see that? I can make it larger if you need to. April 15, 2021. Okay. So this coordinates with, for the one child, and then similarly, the next one for the two children will also show. And Ms. Rubel, I'm sorry, did you admit those for consideration by the court yet?
I believe that they have been submitted via share file to the court. I didn't mark them as an exhibit. I just proffered them, and I believe that was along with my client's financial affidavit, and that was in what was presented to the court. I usually don't label as an exhibit.
Okay.
The only difference is what you're looking at, the insurance rate. There was a clarification on the insurance he pays for the children. That's what our client had testified to.
Right.
It was $299 versus $277.
Okay. And then, so this is the one showing one child with the 11,504 amount that you seek. So basically, let's put it this way. The amount that you're using on the child support worksheets for your gross income is 11,504.16 per month, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, that translates, and you can use the calculator, into an income of about $138,048 per year. Would you agree?
I haven't calculated it.
Do you have a calculator in front of you? It's 11,504 times 12.
I don't have it, but
Don't you have a calculator on your phone?
Mr. Tannen, is that really necessary? I mean, seriously? Let's go.
Yep. Okay. So basically, based on that, 138,048 per year, that means that compared to your 2018 W-2, your income is short about 30,000 a year, gross income, correct?
sounds right. Yes.
Okay. And on your 2019 income, which shows a gross income of 166 a year, it's another 30,000 short, correct?
Are you referring to the W-2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And based on the W-2 that you submitted in, or we provided for 2020, it shows that your estimate on your DERFA is short about 35,000 a year, correct?
I had to cross check, but sounds right. Yes.
Okay. So the variance, if we take that on a monthly basis, would be between $2,500 and $2,900 a month that you've underestimated your income on the DERFA. Isn't that right?
It is not underestimated. It is the issue of bonus. So
Okay.
bonus varied from $8,000 to $30,000 depending upon many factors. And this year and next year, there is a good chance that I won't get bonus because of the COVID market situation. So my request to the court is not to include that in my income. My income is only from my salary with McKesson. There is nothing else. And the current market situation and even everything going on makes it kind of know that, so I may not get bonus this year or next year.
Okay, but you have not been advised as to that by your employer, you said, correct?
No.
Okay. And very early on, you acknowledged, I believe, that McKesson stock has risen 20% in the last 12 months, correct?
I did, but
Objection. Relevant.
Judge, she's
Well, stop. How's it relevant, Mr. Tannen?
basically, if the company's doing well, you get bonuses.
How do you know that, Mr. Tannen?
Because I've worked for companies.
Well, did you work for McKesson?
Okay. No, I didn't, Judge. But you have no reason on your own to believe, or you have no reason, you have received no notice from your employer that you're not going to get a bonus this year, correct?
I'm sorry,
You have not received any notice from your employer you will not be getting a bonus, correct?
No.
Okay. Let's go back to your DERFA. Let me get that up.
It was just up, Mr. Tannen. Mr.
Yeah,
Tannen.
no. Actually, it was the financial affidavit. Okay. I'm going to show you what has been admitted as Exhibit 5. Now, do you need this to be larger, or can you see it? You want me to make it a little larger?
I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay. The DERFA shows an income of the 11,504.16 per month, correct?
That's correct.
And it again assumes no bonus, although you've had bonuses in the last few years, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
I'm moving on.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now it shows as well expenses of totaling on line 3D of 7,523.63 per month, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if we do simple math here, you have about $4,000 a month extra, correct?
If you scroll down, it shows at the bottom whether I have anything, right? There is at the end, it calculates.
Yes or no, and then you can explain your answer.
I don't know yet, unless you scroll down and show it, please.
Okay, 11,504. And if I'm scrolling too fast, let me know. Total monthly payments.
Correct.
Okay. So if we take this 8,000, which doesn't match the 7,000 above, you have $3,000 a month left, correct?
Mr. Tannen, he wanted you to go to the bottom so that you can see everything.
Okay. Okay, do you need me to go back on anything?
I'm good. I can
Okay.
answer your question. So the
Okay.
difference of 11,500 and 8,500 is $3,000.
All right. And this payment that you're making right now includes, and I'll scroll back up to you, a line item in your expenses for the child support you're currently paying. Do you see where I'm underlining that? The 1665?
That's correct.
Okay. And still you have money left over. Now, if you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I'm sorry,
Your
I
Honor.
didn't mean to jump in.
Ms. Ruby.
Objection. I'd like the witness to be able to answer the question.
If that
And
was,
I was apologizing for jumping in.
you have something to say, you have money left over.
No, Your Honor. I have some additional, loan that I had to take that is not included here because this DERFA was filed in April and this case got extended so much. So I have additional expenses happen. So I had to take a loan of $45,000 from my 401k to pay for the legal fees. And so I'm paying around $800 a month back to my account. So that's not included here. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Tannen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you agree if we included your bonus income or some bonus income, you'd have more disposable funds, correct?
If I receive it, yes.
Okay. Let's move to your financial contempt, the financial contempt issues, okay? Are you aware that Ms. Phillip is claiming that as of the day she filed the amended petition, you had failed to reimburse orthodontic treatment for Julia?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Okay. Are you aware that Ms. Phillip is seeking to hold you in contempt for failing to reimburse orthodontic treatment for Julia?
No, it was for my first daughter, Maria. Julia's came in September of 2020. It was I haven't received the invoice yet,
Okay.
but it was for Julia. It was for Maria.
Okay.
That was for, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maria.
Okay, and you're aware that the final judgment in paragraph 8 provides that you all will split uncovered medical expenses 75-25, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, 75 to be paid by husband, correct?
That's correct.
And 25% to be paid by wife, correct?
Yes.
And you agree that it includes dental, mental health, hospital, and vision care, correct?
Yes.
And is it true and correct that in your response to Ms. Phillips' attachment for contempt, you denied the allegation of a failure to reimburse? Is that right?
I had to see that where I did that. If you have that document, can you please show it?
Sure. Okay. Now I have to show you the petition first, or the amended petition, and then I have to show you your response, okay? So we have to do it in two parts. These are filed documents with the court. Amended petition for attachment for contempt.
I see your screen background. The document is not up yet.
All I see is your screen.
Okay, let me try to do this again.
And Mr. Tannen, be super careful because you keep showing your client list, and I'm sure they don't. want
Okay,
to. Let
let me
Carl-
stop the share for a second and then I get it up there.
Maybe you should let Ms. Carlson help.
Ms. Carlson, help. Pull up the file stamp amended. Okay. Amended petition for attachment for contempt. Can I pull this up? Huh? Okay, let me know. So, Mr. John, quickly, do you, while Misty's pulling this up, you understand that there was a bill which Ms. Phillip claims to seek reimbursement for orthodontia, and she's claiming that you did not reimburse her timely. Do you understand that?
So there are two requests. That's where I'm trying to get to which one you're talking about. First one, I can explain if Your Honor, if you allow me to.
Just, okay.
So the first one is a bill I have received 4 days after my divorce, which is for my first daughter, Maria.
Okay, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
Second one.
The second one is for Julia that came in September of 2020. And that I have not received an invoice yet, but I still made a payment. I have made the full payment with a good intention, with the request that I still wanted to receive an invoice from Ms. Phillip, because I tried to reach out to the provider. The
Go to
provider
Exhibit 19.
did
I'm sorry,
not
sir.
provide. The provider did not. The dental provider did not give me an invoice, so I still made the payment to Ms. Phillip.
Okay.
Stand by, Mr. Tannen. I'm showing the amended petition for attachment for
Right.
contempt.
And we're just going to go past that now because his testimony clarified the issue. We're going to go to Defendant Exhibit 19. Misty's going to pull it up. And I apologize, Judge.
Okay.
I want to go back into a courtroom. Yeah. Uh, 19. Is it up?
Yep, look at your screen. It's up.
Okay.
Hold up,
Okay.
look down at your Zoom, your little icon, click on it. Hover over it and you click on the one that shows the exhibit. Take your mouse, hover over it.
Perfect. Move them over there then. Okay. So, Mr. John, okay. Will you please, scrolling down through this document, you had mentioned that your email is that you did not have particular problems with your emails. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, if I haven't received an email, I cannot verify that.
Okay. And do you recall ever receiving this information from Ms. Phillip?
I recall receiving this info. No, and I recall receiving this from my attorney at that time, Andrew DeSoto.
Okay, and when did you call, or about what time do you recall receiving that information?
August of September 2020.
Okay,
Actually, I'm going to object to the timing or any communications between any attorney in our office and our client as attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, sustained. He doesn't, don't answer anything. We have to respond about something that went on between you and your attorney, Mr. John.
so
Thank
you
you.
learned, without identifying how, you learned of this treatment in August of 2020, correct?
He answered
Or
that. Yeah.
September? Okay. Now, Ms. Phillip, you'll see, got the receipt for this or signed the documents in August of 2020, correct?
Mr. Tannen, he doesn't know that.
Okay, let's scroll down. Mr. John, continue scrolling. Stop. Can you push it down a little bit so I can see? Mr. John, do you recall receiving in August of 2020, this email from Ms. Phillip?
No, the email I have received is something forwarded by my attorney.
Okay.
Say it a
And
little. Keep your voice up, Mr. John. Keep your voice up.
Sure, thank you. Sorry.
all right. So this is, and again, this is your correct email address, Joe. Okay. And you said you routinely received emails from Ms. Phillip at such address over the years, correct?
There were issues, even I can point out an issue.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You routinely receive emails from her at that address?
No, there were issues.
Okay. Scroll down. And so that is all you're saying. What were the issues? Were you experiencing issues with anyone else at that email address in August of 2020?
With Ms. Phillip, saying that she sent an email later that I haven't received. So there were situations like that.
So the only emails that you had problems receiving were from Ms. Phillip, is that right?
I don't know, right? Unless somebody comes in and verifies with me.
Did anybody else complain to you or say, hey, did you miss an email or anything like that?
I haven't heard anything like that.
Okay. And so I understand the basis. You said you haven't since subsequently made payment of the 75%, correct?
Yes, we're still expecting the invoice from either the provider.
Hold on. Here's how we're going to speed this up. So once he makes his statement, I promise you, I'm taking copious notes. So let's not repeat what's happened already, okay? So because, this already almost 2 o'clock and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the waiting room. Y'all, and tell you what, tomorrow at 4:30, this is done.
Okay.
Done.
Now you've had failures in the past, isn't that right, to make reimbursements on a timely basis?
I don't think so. The arrears, if you're referring to the child support and alimony arrears, that was from the income deduction calculation issue. When the employer made some payments, there were some gaps.
And but in the past, Ms. Phillips had originally filed a contempt against you seeking funds in the amount of $3,772 for refusal to make dental and medical reimbursements from 2016 through 2019, correct?
I'm going to object. The pleading states for itself as far as the petition that was filed with the court, part of the court's record, and the court can take notice of that. And there's also been testimony as to the response to that and the fees paid to Mr. Tannen in December of 2019.
Judge, I'm allowed full and access cross. I mean, I'm sorry, but
No,
I'm allowed to cross-examine.
You can, and the pleadings do speak for themselves. So
that's why I was just asking one question on it.
okay, one question and move on.
Very good. At that time, you didn't.
That was one question you asked him.
Okay, I'm going on, Judge. In fact, based on that, you made payment. You didn't fight that contempt, correct?
I did not fight that contempt with the expectation of
So, okay,
Mr. John,
moving on.
louder.
Okay. Are you aware of the claim that Ms. Phillip made that you have been harassing her and interfering with her?
No, sir, I wasn't harassing her.
Okay, but are you aware that Ms. Phillip made this claim for contempt?
Yes, I am aware of that.
Okay. And are you aware that she is claimed against you that you're accusing her? Her claim, are you aware, her claim is you're accusing her of engaging in witchcraft and wicked activities?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question,
Are you
please?
aware she is accusing you of claiming she is engaged in witchcraft and wicked activities?
I believe that, but I don't accuse her on anything.
Okay. Are you aware that she is claiming you're accusing her of harassing your mom?
I'm not accusing, sir.
Okay. Let's go back then to the Exhibit 2, which is your email, our Exhibit 2. Misty, pull that up, please. Tell me when it's up. Okay. And will you scroll down, please? Okay. Can you pull this over so I'm not blocked by? Thank you. I'd like to pull these over. Just shove that over. Thank you. Mr. John, again, this is the email you sent to Sabu in October of 2019, correct?
Can you please scroll up a little bit?
Sure. Can you do it, Misty, please? I'm having trouble with this mouse. And then, do you want us to scroll the other way as well?
Yeah, so the only
That's
thing
okay.
I wanted to say, it doesn't have the full content, so I cannot verify it, but some of the things written there looks like it is my email.
Okay, Misty, will you scroll down, please? So at that point, you state in the now let's list a few evil things Sheena, Shaji, and you did to Binu just in 1 year, just last 1 year.
You means Sabu, right?
It says right here, now let's list a few evil things Sheena, Shaji, and you did to Binu in just last 1 year.
Yeah, I'm not accusing her, but those are the things I know of from different sources that happened to Binu.
Okay. So you know, and you're claiming that they, including Sheena, destroyed Binu's flat, Binu's Dubai.
I'm not claiming. All I know is the information that I have received from Binu. Those are the things that I have listed here.
Okay. Including constant witchcraft, black magic threats, house breaking into.
One at a time.
Okay. And
Mr.
then,
Tannen,
yes.
Can I please?
Mr. John, let him finish answering the question. Ask me the question. Please let him finish. Go ahead, Mr. Tannen.
I'm sorry. Mr. John, did you have something to add to this?
Well, finish asking. You were saying constant witchcraft, black magic threats to her.
Right. And you wrote that, right?
Yes, I wrote that.
And then on the next line, you're saying that Sheena, among others, was responsible for our house being broken into and trashed by Sheena's family with witchcraft stuff. Is that right?
That's the information I have received from Titus. So yeah, I believe based on that information I have received from the witnesses.
Okay. We're going to switch over to exhibit number 3, and Misty's going to handle that. And we're going to, these are again what has been admitted and are your responses. Misty, will you please scroll down to question and answer number 5? This is working so much better. Do you recall giving these responses, Mr. John?
Yes.
Okay. And in these, are you claiming in number 1 that Ms. Phillip with Mr. Sabu had done wicked things and harassing and hurting Mr. John and Ms. Monsey, right?
I'm not claiming that. All I can tell you is that is what the information I have received, and that's what I was going through.
Okay.
So
and quickly going down through these, and I'm just going to sort of jump ahead, is in number 3, you're saying that this Sabu, along with Ms. Phillip, has done wicked things and harassing or hurting Mr. John and Ms. Monsey, right?
I'm not alleging that or claiming that. That is the belief I have based on the evidence I have received.
And then in the next one, you're saying Steffi Platt.
John, sorry, Mr. John, you got to keep talking. You can't put your finger over the microphone if you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Keep your voice up.
Oh, it's high. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. And number 4, you're claiming Steffi Lawrence, and I'm going to mispronounce it, Platmatel, and Ms. Phillip, or you're saying that Ms. Phillip and Sabu's relationship done wicked things done in harassing or hurting Mr. John and Ms. Monsey, right?
I'm not claiming that.
Okay.
All I did is provided the information to this court or the evidence to this court so the court can see and take a decision on it.
Okay. Again, with respect to Shaji Phillip, it's destruction of a flat or apartment in the Dubai by Ms. Phillip, the wicked things done, right? And basically, we'll leave these through the courts to review, but you have things in here where you believe that Ms. Phillip at number 9 is engaging in religious rituals to destroy Ms. Monsey and you, is that right?
No, sir. I provided the evidence to this court and then leaving it to the court, Your Honor, to take a decision on it.
Okay, but you're saying you believe if you don't, you provided this evidence to the court. Does this substantiate do you believe these statements?
Based on the evidence I have received from different sources, including the witnesses, I believe that Ms. Phillip had something to do with these things.
And you're saying that you never provided this information or made these claims on your own. These are all just through other people. Is that right?
The evidences mostly came through other people, except for witchcraft emails, like 150 emails I have received. There are many things that came directly to me, but those are the things I have received. And
you received them from Ms. Phillip, is that right?
I don't know. That's where I went to the police department. Okay.
And that's where was that with Detective Half or the Milton attorneys, the Milton police?
Both.
Okay. Let's move on to child custody. Okay. Are you aware that Ms. Phillip is seeking a change in child custody?
Yes.
I should say, visitation.
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that Ms. Phillip is claiming a change in visitation based upon your alleged repeated failure and refusal to exercise parenting time?
I'm aware of that, but I deny that is accurate.
Okay. Are you aware Ms. Phillip is claiming a change in visitation is further required because you have repeatedly disparaged and insulted Ms. Phillip to the children?
I'm aware, but I deny her allegation.
Okay. And are you aware that Ms. Phillip believes a change in visitation is appropriate because the children have now reached a level of age and maturity in which they can decide on appropriate visitation with you?
I am aware, but I do not think that children are reached that maturity or age to take a decision. They are not 18 yet.
Are you aware, did you read the affidavits provided by your children?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you understand that Julia believes you insult her mom a lot?
I don't think so. I do not know who really wrote that affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things written in that affidavit that are, I'm sorry to say this, it's my children, it's pure lies.
Okay. So do you recognize, okay, and do you understand that Julia believes you are trying to spread lies about her mom being with other men?
No, sir, I'm not. I always told my children to respect both their parents.
And have you ever threatened the kids to call the police if they refuse visitation with you?
No, sir, I cannot do that because my intent is to build a relationship with them.
Okay. You had mentioned that from 2016 to 2018, you had no visitation with the kids. Is that correct?
Partially, yes. Yeah, due to some issues going on with me. My father's my divorce plus some depression I was going through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you diagnosed with depression at that time?
No, I didn't go for a treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you prescribed any medications by a doctor as to that time for depression?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you, and I've got to stop saying the okay, I'm sorry, Judge, I'm self-editing. Did you have any communications with Sheena Phillip regarding the reasons you weren't exercising visitations during that 2-year period?
I don't recall anything.
Okay. Did you have any communications with the kids during that 2-year period, 2016 to 18, as to why Daddy wasn't visiting them?
No, because I don't have a way to communicate with my children other than through Miss Phillip.
Okay. Now, from 2018 to 2020, you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm remembering back, that you did start to try exercising visitation again. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. There were no overnights, correct?
There were no overnights because children were not willing to come and stay with me. So I was being flexible for them. So at least I can see them, spend time with them.
Okay. And in that period of 2018 to 2020, how often had they been to your apartment?
In 2018, I believe, they came to my apartment. So this is one thing I wanted to explain. If the kids
just answer the question, please, first. And then
they were there twice or thrice in 2018 because Miss Phillip forcefully dropped them to my apartment, and they were okay at that time.
Okay. And then did you, is it your, do you, let me scratch back. In 2020 on Father's Day, did the kids offer to go with you to a park for certain visitation?
I don't think so, sir.
Okay. Did the children bake you a cake for Father's Day 2020?
I remember, I don't think it is for Father's Day. I went to pick them up and they tried to give something to me, but I don't know whether it's a cake or anything.
And did you throw that cake or whatever it was on the floor, on the pavement?
I did not throw it, sir. What I did is they gave the gift to me. I told them, come with me, then I will take everything, but they denied it. So I was like trying to force them, saying that if they, if I will take the gift if they come with me. So I just left it there saying that, unless they come with me, I cannot take it. So I was trying to just convince them to come with me.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever use the kids to find out information about Ms. Phillip?
No, sir.
Okay. How often from 2016 to 2020 have you attended the children's school?
None, because I'm not informed about anything happening between the school and children. Even if I meet the children and ask them a question about the school, the answer to me is ask our mom. Okay. And then I wanted to come to the school. My children was like, please don't come to our school. It's embarrassing to them. That's the message I have received from them. So okay. It's difficult as a father for me to go there when the children doesn't want to see me.
Now, you have joint legal custody right now, correct?
Yes.
And pursuant to that joint legal custody, you have the right, is it your understanding you have the right to access the children's school records?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever accessed them?
I tried once, and there is a code required because school has their own security system. I reached out to Ms. Phillip through an email and asked for that code, and I have not received that.
And when was that? What year?
2 years ago, at least.
Okay. And you didn't contact the school directly to get the code or register?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't know that I can get it like that.
And you didn't follow up with other emails to Ms. Phillip about that issue, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And you have not produced a copy of that email into evidence, have you?
No.
Okay. Is it do you understand that the children are saying that you were refusing alternate visitation times with them that they had offered?
I'm not refusing it. Anytime I'm ready to meet my children, any day, any time.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of questions. In your petition for modification of child support, expenses for the minor children, and contempt, which was filed May 5, 2020, you recall that, right?
Can you please repeat?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little
You filed your
emotional.
initial petition for modification of child support, expenses for the minor children, and contempt in May of 2020, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There's no claim in there for modification of visitation, is there?
I'm not sure.
And you've never filed a claim for modification of visitation. Well, let's scratch that. You didn't file a claim for modification of visitation initially, did you?
I'm not sure, sir, because I need to go back and look at that, what was filed initially.
Okay, and you did not file a claim initially, to your knowledge, for contempt of the parenting plan, did you?
I'm not sure, sir, because I need to go back and look at it.
So the only claims filed, is it your understanding then, or that you're only, so the only certainty is you filed claims for modification of or contempts for financial issues, right?
I cannot,
Okay.
Unless I look at the document, I cannot answer that. Sir.
Okay. We can provide that up for you. Let's also go to the amended petition dated April 8, 2021. Do you recall filing a claim for modification of visitation at that point in time? This was just 2 months ago.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. But there is none. Would it surprise you to learn that there is none?
There is none of what, sir?
Would you?
Form.
Okay, would you be surprised to learn that there's no claim for modification of visitation in your amended petition for modification filed April 8, 2021?
I need to go back and look at it to tell you exactly what is in it, sir.
Okay, and would you be surprised to learn that there's no claim for contempt of parenting time contained in your amended petition for modification dated April 8, 2021?
Unless I look at the document, I cannot answer that,
Okay.
sir.
And
Is there a point?
yes,
What is it?
he's never claimed visitation issues or for modification, and now he's seeking a modification. Let's go further on. The original pretrial order was filed April 14, 2021, right? Are you aware of the original? Okay. And again, there was no request for modification of visitation, contempt for parenting time.
I cannot answer that, sir,
Okay.
unless I look at the document.
And in fact, there was no claim for a change of custody at that point, right?
Again, same answer, sir. I cannot
And
answer.
one of
My
the-
client's not asking for a change in custody.
He's actually asking for a change of legal custody to provide him with final decision-making on mental health issues. That's a change of legal custody.
No, that's
Yes.
joint, it's sole legal or joint legal. That's a change in custody. Final decision making isn't a change in custody.
He's just asking for a modification of decision making.
Okay.
That's it.
And all right, and Mr. John, you've never claimed in the pretrial order, the amended consolidated pretrial order, or any other documents filed on your behalf, a request to change final decision-making as to mental health issues. Is that correct?
No, sir. I cannot answer that unless I see the documents.
Okay. Got no further questions, John.
Ms.
Right.
Rubel?
Yep. All right. Let me ask you this, Mr. John. What is it that you want the court to do with regards to decision-making for the children? Joint legal decision-making, and I'll break it down. What do you want the court to do for final decision-making for, let's say, medical decisions, excluding mental health for the children?
Can you please repeat that question?
I'm sorry. Who do you want? Who are you asking the court to give final decision-making for your children's medical care in the event that you and Ms. Phillip cannot agree, excluding their mental health, like counseling?
Ms. Phillip.
Okay. Who are you asking the court to give final decision-making with regards to your children attending counseling and reunification therapy for your children between you and the children?
Myself, Mr. John.
Okay. Who are you asking that final decision for the children's education from the court?
Ms. Phillip.
Who are you asking to have final decision for the children's extracurricular activities from the court?
Myself.
Okay. You were previously asked about your financial affidavit, so I'm going to show it to you just real quick to clarify some of the numbers, and I'm not going to belabor this. Do you recall when Mr. Tannen asked you if you subtracted $11,500 from $7,500 that you had roughly $4,000 left?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay. Is $11,504 your net income after you pay any taxes or anything?
Oh, okay. No, yeah, that's a gross income.
Okay, so what is your estimated net and monthly income?
It's 7,745 after taxes.
Okay, so after you pay all of your expenses, which you had listed down here, so give me a second, don't mean to make anybody sick. After you pay $8,500, do you have any extra money left?
There's nothing left. That's what I'm saying, like I'm trying to meet the ends.
Okay. Now, you were asked about your income, and you had received bonus income. Do you have any type of performance standards that you have to meet to be able to qualify for bonus income?
Yes, there are 3 factors to it.
Okay, what are those factors?
And company's performance based on the market condition, my business unit or department's performance, and my individual performance.
What was the last thing you said?
My own performance. Yeah.
In past years, have you had issues with meeting the targets indicated by McKesson for your employment?
No.
Okay, I'm going to refresh your recollection because you might not know this, but look at this document. So this isn't going to be tendered into court and evidence yet. I just want you to review it, okay, to refresh your memory. And there's no private information on here.
Okay.
So, do you recall correspondence from your employer that would indicate
Yes.
this information? Okay. I'm just going to go through it so you can read it, and then I'm going to re-ask the question.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can't hear.
So I'm going to ask this question. In the past, have you not met the standards from McKesson?
Yeah, if the question is about the bonus, yeah, I mean, like it is not guaranteed that I will get that 20% unless I meet all those 3 factors. So I had issues meeting that. Either it is my issue or the market performance or my department's performance. It's not just on me alone. It is those 3 factors.
Now, you previously testified, or we had some questioning about your pay stubs, and I know that we proffered some into evidence, but did your salary change from 2020 to 2021?
Yes.
What was that change, if you recall?
It's included in the March 31st, 2021 payslip. There was a slight increase, and it's already provided as evidence.
Okay. Now, did your other additional compensation change outside of your salary?
No, there is nothing changed.
Okay. Have you had any layoffs in McKesson or for anybody in your department in 2020?
Yes, we had around 15% or more reduction in IT itself.
Okay. Did you receive any notices of review for your employment with McKesson or termination?
Not yet. We all are keeping our fingers crossed because of the market.
Okay. All right. All right. Why do you say that you don't think you'll get a bonus for the calendar year 2021?
Based on so far the knowledge I have on the COVID-related situation and the reduction in hospitalizations. So I have, I have company meetings, etc., where the executive levels come in and talk quarterly about how the company is doing. They won't tell the numbers, but just generally they talk about how tough the situation is. There was a conversation about
Objection,
80%.
hearsay.
I mean, if it's in a statement by an executive, I would agree that it's hearsay. I was just asking if he had any personal knowledge about why he may or may not receive a bonus.
All right. So you get information from meetings. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah, that
There you go.
18% of, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's a
That's
permit.
enough. Okay. Let's see, anything about the, oh. You're not qualified or trained in any way to do an IP search on an email address, are you?
No,
Okay, that's not something you've never done?
I haven't.
Was there any IP addresses traced for any emails that you received that you're aware of?
I have shared some IP addresses with the detective half so that he could search it. So what I try to do is take the raw content of the email, which includes a lot of things that we don't normally see, which is like a code, metadata. There you go. Impressive. Thank you. And then I handed it over to Mr. Half so that he could do that.
Okay. Did you provide the emails from Sabu to Detective Half as well?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know whether or not Ms. Phillip was ordered to produce her 2020 W-2 as a part of our order on the discovery dispute?
Judge,
Yes.
I'm going to object to this. Ms. Rubel is very convenient at objecting to any issues pertaining to our information regarding discovery disputes, yet she's seeking to introduce it herself.
Yes, because I filed a motion for hearing on an order for discovery dispute and actually obtained an order related to a discovery dispute, which compelled Ms.
Well,
Phillip.
then the order speaks for itself, as we've been told.
One at a time, let her finish.
Then the order speaks for itself, Your Honor.
Ms. Rubel?
I haven't admitted the order. I was asking my client whether he's familiar with that issue or not, and then I was going to show the order.
There you go. Let her finish, Mr. Tannen.
Mr. John, do you recall whether that order on the discovery dispute required Ms. Phillip to produce her 2020 W-2s?
Yes.
Okay, I can mark this, but let me go ahead and just share. I'd like to go ahead and mark. This is the order on discovery dispute filed April 6th of 2021 in this matter. Do you recall ever receiving Ms. Phillip's 2017 through 2020 W-2s?
Not 2020. I have received 2018, 2019, I remember.
Okay. So do you have any other evidence that would support what Ms. Phillip's total income was for 2020?
No. No. The order also said to provide the employee offer letter, the benefit information, actually the section E there, and it wasn't provided. So there is no way for us, for me to determine Ms. Phillip's actual income.
Okay. Do you recall when this information was due?
April 7th, 2021.
So the production of this information was April 7th. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, and then there was an additional requirement to supplement April 15th.
That's correct.
Have you filed a contempt against Ms. Phillip for her failure to comply with the order on the discovery dispute?
Yes.
Have you incurred additional attorney fees for a second day of trial? Actually, this is now the third day of trial in this case.
Yes.
Are you asking that Ms. Phillip reimburse you for those expenses and attorney fees in addition to the fees that you had previously incurred?
Yes.
You previously testified about an additional loan that you had to take in the amount of $45,000 to pay attorney fees. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So is it a fair statement to say that you don't have sufficient cash flow yourself to be able to support the amount of fees that you've incurred in this case?
That's correct.
That's all I have for this witness.
Mr. Tannen, do you have anything else?
Just very quick. You have provided to this, you have no evidence that you've submitted to this court to regarding the reason for you to take over mental health decision making, have you?
No.
And the DERFA, which shows the net of 0, which Ms. Rubel just brought out, only applies, correct, if you discount all bonus information. Is that right?
The net of 0, you're talking about the net
Net, your net, right. Mm-hmm.
One at a time.
I'm sorry.
On the income part or my total net? What are you referring to?
I'm referring to if your income goes up from the 11,504 a month due to a bonus, which you've historically received, then you will net more than the 0 you're claiming, correct?
From the income perspective, yes, but now I have a lot of liabilities because of this case.
You've always received 100% performance reviews on your individual, right?
Not always. If you look at 3-4 years back, so it varies. That's why it varies from 8,000 to 30,000. That's the reason.
I'm saying you'd mentioned 3 areas: company performance, I guess section performance, and then individual performance, right?
Correct.
Individual performance, you've always got 100%, right?
I don't think so. There are a couple of times I think it became 95%.
What about the last 3 years?
I need to go back and look at it.
Okay.
I don't know the numbers.
In terms of IP searches, et cetera, given your experience, would you know how to have those, excuse me, in terms of IP searches, given your background and experience, would you know who could perform them?
No, sir.
Okay. One second, please. Mm-hmm. And then, let's see here. We are looking at the documents, and if Ms. Rubel has them, the confidential McKesson documents 72 to 76, or 72 to 81. Ms. Rubel, would you pull those up again because you have them there?
I'm sorry, what are you asking me to pull up?
Your documents that you were not introducing into evidence that were the performance reviews, just for Mr.
I'm not marking any exhibit.
No, I'm just asking because they're refreshing his recollection, and since you have them handy, I thought you might be able to do that.
I mean, ask him a question. If you're going to refresh his recollection, you have to ask him a question first.
Mr. John, do you recall, again, anytime I'm looking through all of these performance reviews from 2014 to 2018 to 2019, and I see you never having an individual review of less than 100%.
I need to go back and look at the documents, sir. Okay. Normally, I do recollect, though, there was less than maybe once or twice, but I need to double check that.
Okay. So there's 100%.
Yes.
Okay. Scroll down. There's 100% for the next. What year is that one? Okay. 2015. Keep going down. 2016. 105%. Keep going down.
Mr. Tannen, are you having the witness refresh his memory, or are you just trying to state what
I'm having try and refresh his memory, but I'm also trying to point it out to him so that he can review them. But if you want, I'll be quiet and we'll stop on the individual modifier each year, and then he can testify. Okay, continue scrolling down. Okay, do you see the individual modifier for F year 17?
Yeah, I see that there, but if you look at the business unit modifier, so that.
No, I'm just asking about your individual modifier.
Let me answer the question. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, yeah, individual modifier is 125%, but then business unit modifier went down. So that's why I said, just don't focus on one number. It's three numbers together.
John, he asked, have you personally, individually been rated less than 100? You personally, your score.
Your Honor, I need to look at it to really answer
Okay,
that
that's
question.
why he's showing you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, keep going, Misty. I feel like I'm kind of in one of those cars that drives itself. I say where to go and Misty does it. Okay. Does this refresh your recollection as to
Yes.
financial year 18?
Yes.
Okay. And based on that, what was your individual modifier?
120%.
Okay, keep going, Misty. Okay. Does this refresh your recollection as to financial year 2019?
Yes.
And based on this refreshing, what was the individual modifier?
150%.
Okay. Is that the last one? Okay, and we don't have 2020 yet, I don't believe. Okay. So based on this, having refreshed your recollection, would you agree that your individual modifier was never less than 100% from 2015 onwards?
Yes, sir.
And based on this, would you agree that your individual modifier was actually over 100%?
Yes.
Okay. One second, please. So would you agree that much of your overage bonus has been related to your individual modifier, regardless of the fact that there are three set components?
My understanding is it's a factor of all three components.
Okay. One last question. Can you tell me your bonus amounts for the last 3 years?
I had to look at the documents, sir, to tell that. You already have that.
Okay. If I mention the amounts to you, will you be able to verify if they're true and correct or not? Will you be able to recall your bonuses for the last 3 years?
If you pull up the document and show me, yes.
One second, please. Okay. Do you recall that your bonus in 2018 was about 44,000?
Can you please show it on the document?
1 second. And this is just to refresh your recollection. And actually, I'm going to mention all 3 years, and then Misty can pull them up, save a little time. Do you recall if your bonus was in 2019 was about 38,000?
Which question, which year are we asking you about?
Well, I was trying to combine all 3 to save time, but let's start at 2018. In 2018, do you recall your bonus being about $44,000?
No, sir. It's 38,800.
Okay. And my apologies. And for 2019, do you recall what your bonus was? Let's refresh your recollection.
That's correct, sir. 38,608.76.
Okay. So you're saying it was, Misty, can you scroll back? I'm sorry, the microphone blurred when I was hearing it. So in 2019, you received a bonus of 32,608.76. Is that right? I'm sorry, my hearing blurred.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall your bonus in 2020? Do we need to refresh your recollection?
I don't recall.
Okay, Misty, can you? 2020. Oh, we don't have 2020. Do you recall getting a bonus of about 46,000 in 2020?
I don't think so, sir.
Okay.
No.
You recall getting a bonus of at least the amount of 2019 in 2020?
I need to go back and look at the document going back to employer's website.
No further questions.
Any follow-up?
No.
All right. Madam Court Reporter needs a break, so we'll take a 15-minute break. Who's going to be your next witness, Ms. Rubel?
Titus Thomas.
Titus Thomas, let's see. So you may need to call him because I have Shaji, Joshni, and Joseph, Jayaprakash, and Kiki.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. All right. I will see everybody back here in 15 minutes.
Thank you.